Thank you for tuning in to Big Beer Sports News, and welcome to a very special and a very late edition of the Tuesday Report. Today, actually, we're going to call it the Wednesday Report. So, after being 4 games under 500 in week 1, I am starting off week 3 4 games above 500. And just to let you know, my win-loss is 18-14. So, quick recap of last week's games. Here we go. So, I picked Washington over the New York Giants. I got that one right. I picked the Cleveland Browns over the Houston Texans. I got that one right. I am expecting a whole lot more from this Cleveland defense. However, we all know that everybody that they've drafted over the last 3-4 years in that secondary has not played a full season yet. I'm talking about Denzel Ward, Rodney Harrison, Grant Delpit, Greedy Williams. 4 potential starters. None of those guys have played a full season yet. So I'm waiting for this Cleveland Browns defense to gel, and losing a linebacker and arguably the weakest core on the team, which is linebacker. The Browns, we need to make some moves, but good win over the Texans. Buffalo Bills, huge bounce back win over the Miami Dolphins. I picked the Buffalo Bills and I got that one correct. Bill Belichick did not go 0-2. He actually had a huge 19-point win over the New York Jets. Shout out to the New York Jets. San Francisco 49ers. I'm not even going to lie. I thought that this game would actually be a blowout game. I don't know why. I just felt like the 49ers was going to find a way to pressure Justin Herbert. I'm sorry. Jalen Hurts. I'm sorry, Justin Herbert. I thought that they was going to find a way to totally suppress and dominate the ball against the Eagles, but they didn't dominate. So it is what it is on that one. Okay. So back to where I was. I picked the San Francisco 49ers and I got that one correct. The Pittsburgh Steelers, my God, 17 points. The defense didn't play as well as they did before last week. The Raiders is really impressive. I'm not even going to lie. We all knew that Derek Carr was a great quarterback. The problem was that, for one, injuries, and for two, can they protect Derek Carr? 3, can the defense hold up? Well, 2-0. Shout out to the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, this was a game that I really was 50-50 on, and I'm not even going to lie. For some reason, I was a bandwagon fan. And the New Orleans Saints lost to the Carolina Panthers. Christian McCaffrey and the Carolina Panthers. I picked the Saints. Got this one wrong. I apologize to Carolina. Okay, moving on. Urban Meyer and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Oh my, 0-2. If anybody was paying attention this offseason, besides the pickups that the Browns made in the offseason and the Deshaun Watson saga, all the hype was Jacksonville. They got this new quarterback and new Urban Meyer, and Urban Meyer came out of retirement, and Tim Tebow came out of retirement. Just to get washed by Teddy Bridgewater and the Denver Broncos. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, if I'm not mistaken, he's leading the league right now with 5 interceptions. He was 14 of 33 with 118 yards. We got to get him some help. Something ain't right down there in Jacksonville, and sadly to say, is more or less of the same ish. So I picked the Denver Broncos in this game, and I got that one right. The Indianapolis Colts. I knew that the Colts was going to struggle this season because ever since Andrew Luck retired, they haven't been stable at quarterback. I mean, the defense been so and so. Soon as the defense started getting better, they started losing pieces here and there, especially linebackers, and that was a strong suit for that team. I mean, it really ain't much to say. Now, for the Rams, albeit Carson Wentz is a really good quarterback, he was 20 of 31, 247 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Matthew Stafford matched that interception, had 1 more touchdown. Everything else pretty much the same, 19 of 30, 278 yards. Both running backs had 50 yards. I mean, Derek Henderson had 53 to Jamar Taylor's 51. Cooper Kupp had a huge game, 9 receptions, 163 yards. He single-handedly won this game for the Rams. If it wasn't for Cooper Kupp, then I'm sorry, that defense would have just blocked down everybody else on the Rams. They couldn't run the ball. Nobody else could catch the ball. Not for significant gains. So, Los Angeles Rams 2-0. I picked the Rams, and of course I got that one right. Joe Burrow, sir, you lost to I don't even know who Chicago had a quarterback, because I thought Justin Fields was hurt and he wasn't hurt. And Joe Burrow, 3 interceptions. Now, I haven't seen the tape yet, so I can't really say if all 3 was his fault, but on the stat sheet, 3 interceptions is 3 interceptions. Joe Mixon, only 69 yards. Wow. I'm impressed. I'm not even going to lie. I thought after that showing that they put up last week that the Chicago Bears defense was going to be torched, but they showed up. So with that being said, Cincinnati have 4 turnovers in total. Okay, so they lost a fumble as well. Okay, so I'm just checking out the stats as I go, and I was on the bandwagon. I picked Cincinnati, and Cincinnati did not pull through. Now, the Minnesota Vikings. I did not expect the Minnesota Vikings to keep up with the Arizona Cardinals. I kind of foreseen the Arizona Cardinals scoring 30 plus points in this game. However, I did not see them giving up 30 plus points this game. Now, just looking at some of the stats, Dalvin Cook had a monstrous game, and the team overall had 177 yards rushing off of 27 carries. Oh my, I cannot believe it. Okay, so, man, I got this pick right, of course, again. I picked successfully the Arizona Cardinals over the Minnesota Vikings. Okay, moving on to Tampa Bay. This is a game that I probably regret. This is a game that I probably regret not watching. Tampa Bay went 2-0 after scoring 48 points. I mean, Matt Ryan gave up 3 interceptions. Terrible. Tom Brady, 5 touchdowns, only 276 yards. My. Atlanta, what is going on? Like, seriously, like, what is going to happen? I mean, Atlanta even outpossessed the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 33-26, and still, but the 3 turnovers, man, you cannot win with turnovers. I'm sorry. This is the NFL. If you're giving up turnovers, you're more than likely going to give up points. It's just the rules is bent towards the offense. I will say it. And the athletes is just too good. I mean, I don't care how good of a defense you got. If they spending a lot of time on the field, especially in short field situations, you're going to give up points. It's just going to happen. So, I don't know, man. I really feel bad for Atlanta because I had a lot of high hopes for Matty Ice. Like I really like Matty Ice, but he just not getting the job done. And not only is he not getting the job done, they lost offensive linemen. That was one of the few teams that couldn't afford to lose any linemen, and yet they lost some pretty significant pieces on the line. So Atlanta. All right, moving on to the Dallas Cowboys. What is going on with the Dallas Cowboys? Only dropping 20 points. Dak had an interception. Justin Herbert had an interception. Tony Pollard had a big game. 13 carries, 109 yards, 1 touchdown. And I think he had a pretty decent day receiving too, if I remember correctly. The game stats pretty much look even all across the board, except for the Chargers had one more turnover than Dallas. And what did I just say a few seconds ago? You can't win turning the ball over. So, I predicted that game to be right. I really wanted to go with the Chargers, but I just knew that the Dallas Cowboys was a much stronger and much more experienced team. So, moving on to the Derrick Henry Titans. Now, this is a game that I actually got wrong here. I actually got 2 of these wrong in a row. But I expected Seattle to scheme really well and to put up a lot of points, in which they did. 30 points is pretty good. 30 points is pretty good. However, Derrick Henry, let me make sure y'all hear me right now. 35 carries, not the team. 35 carries. Derrick Henry, 35 carries, 182 yards, 3 touchdowns. Derrick Henry single-handedly alone was responsible for 18 of the 33 points that the Tennessee Titans scored. Julio Jones, 6 catches, 128 yards. We've been waiting on Julio for 2 weeks now. I mean, they still got A.J. Brown over there. Don't know what's going on with A.J. Brown. Let me check the stats real fast. I'm doing this on the fly, y'all, so bear with me. A.J. Brown, 9 targets, 3 catches, 43 yards. Oh. Derrick Henry, also 6 receptions out of 6 targets, 55 yards. Lone 15. So this was literally the Derrick Henry show. He put up over 200 all-purpose yards single-handedly by himself. Out of 347 yards receiving, he had 55. Out of 212 yards rushing, he had 182. We've been waiting on Derrick Henry. We've been waiting on that offensive line. which has been one of the nastiest offensive lines over the last few years. Okay, so I got that pick wrong. Seattle actually lost by 3 points. So shout out to the Tennessee Titans getting their first win on the season. Okay, now to a team who just got their first loss of the season, the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not even gonna lie. I picked Kansas City to win. I figured as though that the Browns had overall a better offense than Baltimore, especially with all the injuries. We lost Jarvis Landry, so that's going to hurt our team moving forward. Besides that, we still got so many questions at receiver. However, we're going to say that for later. The Baltimore Ravens, very tough defense, still gave up 35 yards. They lost a pass rusher, gained a pass rusher. But I look at it like this. I thought that if the Kansas City Chiefs can beat the Browns, that they can beat the Ravens. However, Lamar Jackson just wanted it more. Period, point blank. Lamar Jackson just wanted it more, especially coming out of halftime and going into that fourth quarter. Lamar showed up. The defense showed up. Kansas City, I really don't think that Kansas City's offense is going to be as potent. I mean, Travis Kelce, you say what you want to say about Travis Kelce. You can't. He's just too big and he runs too well to be a tight end, and you can't really stop him. And then Tyreek Hill. Normally, when you see a guy who runs as fast as Tyreek Hill, they be very slight in the bridges. However, Tyreek Hill has muscle. Tyreek Hill is a very tough wide receiver. He can catch at anywhere on the field, and he can potentially turn one juke move or one stiff arm into a 75-yard touchdown. So Kansas City is dangerous. However, I just feel like they're taking a step back this year. I mean, can you really expect them to keep up that same level of play that they have been over the last few years? Maybe they get it together later in the season. I don't know. Okay. So that's the second loss in a row that I took because I actually picked Kansas City to win over Baltimore. Now, Kansas City still has to play the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they still have to play the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, I think both of those are going to be a win. However, the more that the season goes on, I'm thinking that Kansas City might actually lose to Pittsburgh just because Pittsburgh defense is so good. And I think they're going to have a hard time stopping that Pittsburgh rush, because no matter how old you say Joe Hayden is, like, their secondary is still pretty decent, man. They can hold their own. So, especially with the schemes and the blitzes that Pittsburgh dials up. So, good luck to the Kansas City Chiefs. All right, moving on to probably the biggest bounce back win of the season by absolutely being demolished in week 1. The Green Bay Packers come back and put up a pretty decent 18-point win against the Detroit Lions. I don't think many people at all really expected the Detroit Lions to do much against Green Bay. Even looking at the percentages picked for ESPN, 90% of the people picked Green Bay. So, I mean, what can I say? I'm happy Green Bay got this win. If it wasn't for an injury to the quarterback, I don't think that the Lions lose by 18. I'm sorry. I just don't, man. That Green Bay defense is looking very soft. I mean, even when they made a championship run, you could possibly run against Green Bay, but it was the pass defense. They really didn't give up big plays, and you kind of seen that this game. They really not giving up the huge plays. But shout out to Green Bay and shout out to Aaron Rodgers for getting that big win. But I think Aaron Rodgers owed everything to his running back, Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is the heart and soul of that team. Don't get me wrong, Davante Adams, 9 targets, 8 receptions, 121 yards. But I don't know, Davante Adams, I don't know, he don't look as pure. But it's only the second week, so I'm not gonna say that. But Davante Adams, man, for years he was the biggest, the strongest, the fastest, and he's based off of week 1 and then going into week 2. The separation ain't 100% there, man. So he made a big tough catch for 50 yards. So we're gonna wait and see. I'm not gonna come down on the NFL too hard because they only played 3 preseason games this year after the COVID season last year. And like we all know, COVID is still very much alive and well. So again, thank you. Oh, just to recap again, I am now 4 games over 500. Last week I was 4 games under 500. So you do the math. 18-14 this week, y'all. So hopefully we can keep these picks going. I don't mind missing 2 or 3 picks a week, but I finished week 1 6-10. I don't think I ever had a week so bad in all the years I've been picking. So let me know what you guys think about all the action that went down in week 2 in the comments. Please like, share, subscribe, dislike if you so choose to. Thank you for tuning in to Big Beard Sports News, the Tuesday Report. Peace.